Okay, this is what I'm saying. Like, we have satellites around the, like, in f***ing space, supposedly. That's what the government says. Looking down on us, witnessing us, inspecting us, okay, at all times. They can probably, if they want, they can f***ing look through their satellite and just see my asshole while I take a shit. You rarely get a satisfactory answer, you know? Was it Malaysia Airlines? Do we even know what happened with that case to this day? You know, we don't get that many plane crashes. Shout out Boeing. There's something there. There's something there. Well, what do we have here? January 29th, 2025. Okay, so 2 days ago. A scheduled domestic passenger flight operated by Bombardier collided midair with a United States Army Black Hawk helicopter. Whoa. Literal Black Hawk down, dude? A Black Hawk helicopter collided with a fucking plane? No survivors? How big was the plane? An American Airlines plane with 60 passengers and 4 crew on board collided in midair with an Army Black Hawk helicopter carrying 3 soldiers near Reagan National Airport and crashed into the Potomac River. Officials say everyone died. Holy shit. Every single person died? Not one just managed to, you know, like an Unbreakable and, you know, Bruce Willis survives the train crash. I thought that was real life. Plain 9/11 meme. Good one, dude. Dude, every single person died? Not one person lit. Everyone died. Every single person died. Holy shit. American Eagle Flight 5342. Wow. American Airlines. Ouchie. Top figure skaters from the United States and Russia were on board. Holy fuck. People have been cautioned about rivers crash debris. DC area municipalities have issued guidance about what people should and shouldn't do about what they think might be debris from the crash. A Facebook post on the Alexandria, Virginia government website spotlights the Metropolitan Washington Council of Governments, urging that if you believe you have information related to the recovery efforts in the Potomac or Anacostia rivers or on the shore, immediately call 911. Do not touch or remove the items. Following this guidance is critical to supporting the impacted families and investigation. Bro, how do you manage to actually fly a plane into a helicopter? I don't know. I mean, I was under the impression that, I mean, obviously, you know, every airport has air traffic control, so they can try to prevent these situations from happening, right? They like plan these things out, but I assume there will be some kind of investigation conducted. But it feels like a lot of the time with these plane crashes, when they try to investigate it, you rarely get a satisfactory answer, you know? Was it Malaysia Airlines? Do we even know what happened with that case to this day? Investigators generally agree that the plane crashed somewhere in the southern Indian Ocean, although it is unclear as to why it happened. Pieces of debris believed to be from the plane have washed up on the shores of the Indian Ocean the years after the disappearance. A plane just disappeared. A plane just fucking disappeared. Isn't that nuts? And this was like 2015 or something, right? I remember when this happened. I don't even know if I was in high school. 2014, okay. And we still somehow, a plane full of people, okay? Mothers, fathers, kids. This is like your friend gets on a plane to go to China for a vacation or something. I don't know, Japan. And the plane disappears. They're like, it's like, but like, where did the plane go? You know? And investigators are like, well, it's gone. Like, we don't have the plane. It's like, what do you mean? It's like, it's just gone. We don't have, like, we found a piece of it on an island in India, I guess. Big whoop. It's like, what the fuck? The theory I saw is that the plane was only using instruments to land and the helicopter had visual confirm with air traffic control, but we're looking at a different plane taking off instead of landing. So your theory is that the plane was only using instruments to land, so they weren't visually making sure. And the helicopter had visual confirmation with air traffic control, but they were looking at the wrong plane is what you were saying. So that's why they collided. Okay, that would make sense. Air traffic control is known to mess up. I mean, to be honest, given how few planes crash, they probably do a pretty good job overall. I'll say that much. You know, we don't get that many plane crashes. Shout out Boeing. We don't get that many, statistically speaking, you know, just considering the fact that we're going up into the air into a metal coffin, you know, they don't crash that often. You know, obviously this is going to, you know, some people are going to get fired and probably moved around for this incident for sure. At the very least of consequences, some people are going to get fired here, I'm thinking. Miss Chubby Bunny became a member? That is a foul fucking name. Mr. President, we lost the plane. What actually happened with Malaysia Airlines? I'm actually curious about this now. This is a relatively short investigation section. Malaysia quickly assembled a joint investigation team consisting of specialists from Malaysia, China, the United Kingdom, the United States, and France, which was led in accordance with ICAO standards. What is that? International Civil Aviation Organization. Okay, so it's the UN. Okay, it's the UN. By an independent investigator in charge. The team consisted of an airworthiness group, an operations group, and a medical and human factors group. The airworthiness group were tasked with examining issues relating to maintenance records, structures, and systems of the aircraft. The operations group were to review the flight recorders, operations, and meteorology, and the medical and human factors group would investigate psychological, pathological, and survival factors, which are perhaps the most difficult to investigate. Malaysia also announced on the 6th of April 2014 that it had set up 3 ministerial committees. All right, so let's see what we've got here for the reports. 2 interim reports were issued on the 8th of March 2015 and in March of 2016. They contained factual information about the plane, but no analysis. Okay, boring. Analysis of satellite communication. The communications between Flight 370 and the satellite communication network operated by Inmarsat, which were relayed by the Inmarsat 3 F1 satellite, provide the only significant clues location of Flight 370 after disappearing from Malaysian military radar at 2:22. Okay, this is what I'm saying. Like, we have satellites around the, like, in fucking space, supposedly. That's what the government says. Looking down on us. Okay, witnessing us, inspecting us, okay, at all times. They can probably, if they want, okay, they can fucking look through their satellite and just see my asshole while I take a shit. Okay, they can probably like look under my body and look up. These guys, you know, they have surveillance skills, and somehow we still don't know what happened to this fucking plane. Like, I'm not saying I could figure out where the plane went. What I am saying is that if the government paid me enough money, I would go into the Indian Ocean personally in a life raft, and I will find what happened to that fucking plane. I will find out what happened to that plane. The pilot had a YouTube channel. That's a good one. There's no way, right? The problem with stuff like that, when people say that in chat, is I want to assume it's a joke, but there's been too many people in these situations that have had YouTube channel. I believe this version, special investigation, shocking new claims shed light on doomed MH370 flight. Thank you. The ocean is huge. It's not that complicated. Well, I know it's huge. It's just... It feels crazy that in the 21st century, we can still lose a fucking plane full of people. And where the ocean is huge and unexplored. And it's also scary. I have no desire. To be honest, I live very close to the ocean. I have no desire to go in it. You know, I'll wade in it a little bit at the beach if I have to. I have no desire to like go on a boat and go deep in the ocean. Honestly, I just don't want to do it, you know. Have I done it? Yes. I don't get seasick. I have good sea legs, but you know, it's just fucked up. It's just fucked up. We don't even know what lives down there. Truly, we've explored 5% of the ocean. Who knows what's living down there? You don't know. I don't know. It could be anything, okay? For all we know, there's an entire underground civilization that mirrors our own that are all just like versions of us, but in like a fish version at the bottom of the ocean. We don't know. What about the Titanic? They found that. Wasn't the Titanic like not that far from land? Wasn't that like in the New York harbor? Where did it actually sink? I don't even know. Was it up there? Why did I think it was like near New York where it sunk? I guess that would not make sense because why would there be a fucking iceberg there? Was it up here? Is that our deal? No, this is the North Atlantic Ocean. What the fuck am I looking at? The Titanic. Where did the Titanic sink? Okay, I'm not normally this retarded. Okay, so, I mean, they were going to New York. Look, they were going to there's something there. You know, was it like kind of in the middle of the ocean? Yeah, but like they were going to New York. So like, I mean, look, if you look at the map, they're closer to New York than they are to fucking England or whatever. So, you know, I'm just saying. Look, on this one, it looks even closer. On this one, it looks like they're real close. They left from New York? Then how come on this one, it's the arrow's going, you're saying they left from New York, but on this picture, the arrow is going towards New York. So, don't know about that one, buddy. Don't know about that one, dude. They left from England? That's what I'm saying. 1,000 miles from the New York harbor. Yeah, that's no big deal. Just a little swim. Just a little. Yesterday, I went to the Presidential Library for John F. Kennedy. They have a museum there. It was very good. It was entertaining. It was good. Good evening, my skibbity Riz King. I can't remember, but there was another plane crash from Malaysia Airlines, and apparently the pilot was expressing suicide thoughts. Interesting. He just was like, "You're all coming with me." Speculated causes of disappearance. Malaysian police investigated the homes of the pilots and examined the financial records of all 12 crew members. According to the preliminary report released by Malaysia in March 2015, there was no evidence of recent or imminent significant financial transactions carried out by any pilot or crew member. Additionally, analysis of the pilot's behavior on CCTV revealed no significant behavioral changes. Despite this, U.S. officials consider it likely that someone in the cockpit of Flight 370 reprogrammed the aircraft's autopilot to head south over the Indian Ocean. Why do they consider that likely? Media reports claim that Malaysian police identified Captain Zahari as the prime suspect, should human intervention be proven as the cause of the disappearance. In 2020, former Australian Prime Minister Tony Abbott stated in a Sky News documentary, "My very clear understanding from the very top levels of the Malaysian government is that from very, very early on, they thought it was a murder-suicide by the pilot. Mass murder-suicide. There were hundreds of people on that plane. The murder-suicide theory aligns with an unverified claim by retired British aviation engineer Richard Godfrey, He suggested that the aircraft's flight path could be reconstructed by analyzing disruptions to weak signal propagation reporter signals recorded on the day of the incident. Is this the black box? What is this thing? WSPR is an acronym for Weak Signal Propagation Reporter. It is a protocol implemented in a computer program used for weak signal radio communications between amateur radio operators. The protocol was designed in a program written initially by Joe Taylor. Software code is now open source. The program is designed for sending and receiving low power transmissions to test propagation paths. Okay. So the plane sends these out. Sends out these low frequency radio signals or low power radio signals, weak signals. Basically, planes always send out this signal and you can't turn it off. Okay. In November 2021, Godfrey claims his analysis indicated that the aircraft entered a holding pattern for approximately 22 minutes, about 150 nautical miles off the coast of Sumatra. In March 2024, scientists at the University of Liverpool began a major study to access the viability of using WSPR technology to locate the aircraft. Nonetheless, WSPR's creator, Nobel laureate Joseph Houghton Taylor Jr. dismissed its application for aircraft tracking. Regarding MH370, Taylor stated, "It's crazy to think that historical WSPR data could be used to track the course of ill-fated flight MH370, or for the matter, any other air." I'm not kidding, but Tony Abbott heard about my car crash and wanted to meet me. I literally have photos with our former prime minister. What does this fucker look like? This guy? What happened to him? What'd they do to him, dude? What'd they do to his ears? Like, what did they just tugged on them a little bit? Like, what exactly is going on here? Bro hears everything. He hears fucking everything. You cannot drop a pin around him. He's like, ooh. His head hurts so bad. He's got a constant headache from these fucking radar dishes installed on his cheeks, okay? I know he's hearing me right now. You can whisper all you want. Shush, he can hear you. I can whisper all I want. He can hear me from all the way across the pond, okay? He tells mice to quiet down. Pipe down! He hears spiders. Spiders to him are like, dong, 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 okay? He's got that echolocation. True, dude. Looks like a fucking wombat. Anyhow. Is there going to be more Tom IRL content anytime soon? I don't know. I'm sick of travel, man. I really hate traveling. You know, it's fun the first time you do it, and then, I don't know. Honestly, dude, I just want to be at home right now. I want to be at home with my fucking Legos in my room on my computer, okay? You know, I'm like watching TV again. I'm watching movies, which I didn't do enough last year, which sounds cringe, but I really like watching movies. So, you know, I'm getting to do that again more instead of having to travel all the time. It's like, okay, you watch a movie on a plane. It's not the same as watching a movie on my couch, okay? It's just not the same. I'm like hanging out with friends and stuff. Like, you know, I don't want to travel, to be honest. I don't want to travel. I just want to stay home for a long time. But before I go any further, today's video is sponsored by Gamer Subs, the best energy drink in the freaking game. They've got a lot of really good flavors. It tastes great. It's way more affordable than other energy drinks or soda. And they also pay me, which is good because it's me. So be sure to use code TOM to get 10% off at gamersubs.gg. Just click the link down in that video description to tap in with the greatest chug juice ever. All right, now back to the video. Look up the video of him eating a whole onion. Did Tony Abbott eat a whole onion? That didn't happen. Prime Minister Tony Abbott eating a raw onion is not common. With skin is not common, but onions Australia celebrate? Onions Australia? What does that mean?
Very good.
Certainly brought a tear to my eye, but that was a tear of joy. What a wonderful endorsement for the Australian onion industry.
Is it common, though, to...
What a wonderful endorsement for the Australian onion industry. Who gives a fuck? Do they think he's going to increase onion sales? I don't understand. Like, do they only grow onions in Australia? Where do they grow? Can they just grow them fucking anywhere? Onions grow in many regions of the world, including the United States, India, and China. They grow best in full sun in loose, fertile, well-drained soil with a pH between 6 and 6.8. Okay, United States, India, and China I'm seeing are the biggest ones. Why are they saying, what a good day for the Australian onion industry? Who gives a shit? Who's ever thought, oh, shout out to Big Onion.
I mean, we all...
Onions are used in like every cuisine. That's what I'm saying. Nobody's nobody's just discovering what an onion is. Like, we know what an onion is. Generally, you probably don't care what brand you get, but you know, you might want to get the Vidalia onion. You might want to get like a different kind of onion. Vidalia is it the white one? What's the yellow one? Vidalia, or is there's the Vidalia, the sweet onion grown in South Georgia. Okay, what about the yellow onion? Okay, that is a different thing. Okay, I used to have to cut onions when I worked at a restaurant, and it was brutal. But, okay, back to the point ahead. Who is thinking about the onion? Like, who is so concerned about the onion? Like, we know what an onion is. Fuck you, onions are awesome. I agree, I like onions, but, like, who is this guy who's like, what a great win for the Australian onion industry. Oh, mate. The onion sales are going up. No, they're not. Onion sales have probably been consistent for 3,000 years.
all eat onions. We all love onions, cooked and peeled. Is it common to eat a raw onion?
No, it's not common, unfortunately.
Is it common to eat a raw onion? Who's asked? Who does she have a shirt that says Onions Australia? Who are you? Who is this woman?
I wish it was, and certainly not with the skin on. Personally, I would peel it first, but mad props to the PM, and I congratulate him on eating the onion.
You say this
Congratulate him on eating the onion. Mad props to the PM. What is wrong with this country?
provided a boon for the onion industry. Have you really got calls of interest from people? It's only been, less than a week since the Prime Minister took that tasty bite.
Yeah, our phones have been ringing off the hook. A lot of it's obviously the media interested in our take on the whole issue, but we've also had a lot of
Our take on the issue. What do you think about the fact that your prime minister in this joke of a country ate an onion? What do you say? Oh, well, mate, we're rather happy to hear that, they ate an onion. We think onions are good, we sell them. And, the more you eat them, the more you cry. So that's good. But, he took it like a champ. So, yeah, I mean, it'd be good to see Donald Trump or maybe Kamala Harris eat an old onion. But, it is what it is, mate. Like, this is a meme. What do we expect? What are they talking about? How is this the news? It's like, what do you think about the onion? What do you think about the fact that a guy ate an onion? There's nothing to say. He's Shrek. Bro's never had a bloomin' onion from Outback? I have had those. Oh, I have had those. Don't you worry. When I lived in Canada, they had this thing called Rib Fest, and they would do the fried exploded onion thing. It was pretty good. Congratulations on your onion. Thanks, man. What is your response to the onion eating allegations? This is a fake country and fake people, Lamau. Dude, it is. That's what I'm saying. Like, what are they talking about? Like, we're over here dealing with a plane crash. Okay, where like 100 people died. A Black Hawk helicopter is colliding with a plane. And they're over there like, what do you think about the fact that this guy ate a fucking onion? Like, they don't have news. They have nothing going on there.
A lot of people ringing up saying, can you actually do that? And we said, look, sure you can, but possibly I would go with the Queensland onion because they're a lot more mild and I would take the skin off first.
Very good.
Notice how to show that he's like normal or not fucked up. There's some guy in the back who's like, very good, very good. Listen to that.
Take the skin off first.
Very good.
Like, he didn't say that. Some other guy watching him eat the onion said very good. Hi, what's your next Lego project? Also some more Aussie lore. We had a prime minister that went missing swimming. Never found the poor bastard. Is that true? The thing I'm working on right now is the Daily Bugle. The Daily Bugle's back there on that desk. I've been building it, but I haven't been building it this week because I've been really busy, but hopefully this weekend or something. But I've got a bunch of shit to do. I got to go to the DMV. There's just like all this stuff going on. But hopefully I'll finish it. It's like, I don't know. Maybe I'm 30-40% done. It's a big set. I've been kind of procrastinating it and getting it finished, but I want to. Did an Australian Prime Minister really go missing? Another good thing about being home is I've had more time to read shit. I feel like probably since I left high school, my intelligence has degraded and not increased. I mean, obviously I write a lot and I read stuff for, work stuff, but a lot of it's not like difficult reading. Not that I read a lot more. Like, I do read some Business Insider stuff. I did start reading this book called Techno-Feudalism that was recommended by Art Chad. And I haven't gotten, is it Technocratic Feudalism? I haven't gotten through very much of it, but it seems interesting. I also have Atlas Shrugged, and I tried reading that recently, and I think I read it when I feel like I read it a few years ago, but I tried reading it again and it was like really boring. It was hard to get through. On the 17th of December 1967, Harold Edward Holt became the third Australian Prime Minister to die in office. His death was subsequently the subject of controversy. The Prime Minister was presumed dead 2 days after he disappeared while swimming at Cheviot Beach near Portsea in Melbourne. Really? That's crazy. He just went missing? This is what I'm saying. This is like a joke. This country's not real. We don't have presidents going fucking missing. I'm seriously considering getting a dumb phone. Yeah, I've been deleting social media apps from my phone. I have YouTube and I'm keeping that, but I don't have Twitter. I don't have Instagram. Like, I just hate them. Try the Fountainhead. I have that one too. I have the set. I have the set of both of them. I also bought recently, I went to a video game store and I haven't played it yet, but I bought, I used to play this game a lot. I bought Medal of Honor, European Assault. I used to play this game. That one, Medal of Honor, is that one? Medal of Honor Rising Sun, and then there's another one. There was like a 3-pack I used to play on PS2, but I bought it for Xbox, so I could play it on the Xbox. And stuff from my phone. I still have it, but yeah, I don't know. I just don't want to be like on like reading shit all day. Like, I'll read it when I'm on stream. I'll walk in, I'll read some stuff, but when I'm off, I'm just like, I'm off. I just need to go. I don't want to be on it at all times. Harold Holt. Funny thing is they named a swimming pool after him. That's dark. Did they actually? In March 1969, the Harold Holt Memorial Swimming Center was opened in suburban Melbourne. But that's how he died, dude. That seems a little insensitive. That's like in memory of 9/11. We're having a plane crash memorial with this, like, you can crash your own plane. When I would visit my grandma in Canada, there was an elderly Punjabi man who was in love with her and ended up flashing her and my cousin on their walk. Neither spoke English well. Dude, some of the Indians up there are crazy. Most of them are fine, but some of them are nuts, man. When I was living there in Ontario, I lived near this like corner store that I would go to, and I would buy Prime there, and like the not like the sports drink, but like the energy drink version. I would buy Prime there, and the shit in this like corner store, it wasn't really a bodega. It was more of like, it's not really a 7-Eleven either. It was like a gas station thing, car wash. But bro, they would sell like, snack pack puddings. They would sell those that were like 5 years old. And you can probably still eat them. But they had a lot of like old weird shit. They would sell like knockoff like AirPods that said Apple on them, but clearly were not, like, that was not from Apple. Circle K? No, it was not a Circle K. It was like its own thing. I'm not Canadian. I just lived there for a little bit. Bro, before Australia was a thing, it used to be where they sent British prisoners. It was a massive island prison. Then those prisoners made it into a country and continent. I know that. They're all descended from degenerates. Because back in the day, they would just lock up people who were in debt. Like, you had like debtor's prison. So maybe a bunch of them were like that, but some of them were probably murderers. Who knows? Who knows what was going on there? I'm kind of curious about that. They also had the Great Emu War. What is that? The Great Emu War was a military operation in Western Australia to kill emus that were destroying crops. The operation was a failure, and the emu's role in the Australian ecosystem became clear. What are all these pictures? What is this? Why do they have pictures of them in helmets, dude? That fucker is scary. I mean, in fairness, why would you go to war with a thing that looks like that? I would not challenge that. I would not challenge this thing. I would not argue with it. I would not beef with it. I would just let it do its own thing and run away. That's a scary bird. That's a very scary bird, dude. Bathrooms in Toronto scare me. I went to Toronto a few times for concerts and I was traumatized from my last visit. I'm probably going to Toronto in not that long to hang out with J-Reg and Gokanaru and Art Chad and some of those guys. Gonna do their podcast. Should be fun. Those guys are interesting. So I'll probably be going there. Wasn't there a PM in Australia who shat himself at a McDonald's? Is that true? He shat himself at a McDonald's? Australian PM breaks silence on soiling himself at McDonald's, calls it utter rubbish. He breaks his silence, dude. Australian Prime Minister Scott Morrison has broken his silence on a persistent rumor that he soiled himself in a McDonald's restaurant more than 20 years ago, insisting that it is utter rubbish. Social media users have long bandied about a tale that the now leader soiled himself with a fast food outlet in suburban Sydney after watching his favorite rugby league team, the Cronulla Sharks, lose the grand final in 1997. Why do people think that happened? Why do they even think that? Bro, probably ate too much Vegemite? Yeah, man. The greatest Australian lore is the succulent Chinese meal guy. Oh, I've seen this guy. Charles Doja. Dude, that guy rocks. He's innocent. Let him out. If Dread Pirate Roberts had said that, they would have let him out. I was surprised to see that actually a lot of people seem to agree with my take that Dread Pirate Roberts should, in fact, be in jail for a decent amount of time at least. You know, I'm not particularly personally invested in that story, but I was just like, okay, so this guy ran an international drug marketplace and tried to hire hitmen to kill people. He should probably be in jail. And there are all these people that are like, oh, actually, he was entrapped, and actually, but the government does stuff that's bad too, and well, blah, 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 blah. It's like people don't even know what entrapment means, and they also don't, like, it's the most annoying thing ever where you're like, this guy did a bad thing. And then if it's like a politicized issue, it's like, well, what about this other guy that did a bad thing? And it's like, well, I'm not talking about that guy, but if two people do bad things, they should both be in jail, actually. If the feds were trying to continue the operation of the Silk Road for money, those people should be in jail. Dread Pirate Roberts does not mean he's exempt from his crimes. I'm watching stream while building the Nightmare Before Christmas Lego set, Bless My Builds. That set looks cool. I agree he deserved prison time, but I feel like 10 plus years is enough. If anyone else was running an international drug marketplace and also trying to hire hitmen to kill them, you would not say that. You would just not say that. If you want to say that, if your standard is everyone who commits these crimes, who commits a similar crime, should only get 10 years or 11 or whatever. If that's what you want to say, okay. I mean, I can still argue with that, but at least you're being consistent. But like people like make these exceptions for these like internet people because, you know, and like to an extent, I get it because I am a young white Sigma male. Okay. I get it. Okay. I like Whiplash. I like The Social Network. I get it. It's like a cool, exciting story. A movie about Dread Pirate Roberts would probably be a fire fucking movie. It would probably be excellent. And like, he probably is like a cool dude. He probably is like a cool guy to talk to. He probably is really interesting. He probably has a lot to say, but like still a horrible person. It doesn't really change that, you know. He wasn't charged for a hitman. That probably wasn't him. It was him. It 1000% was him. Even if he didn't get charged, it was 1000% him. He wrote it in his diary. In his diary, at the same time that he was trying to get it to happen, he was like, "I gotta kill this guy." Am I gonna like have like a fucking like pathological spur gout like endlessly about Dread Pirate Roberts? Maybe. I'm gonna try not to, but I'm not like, you know, frothing at the mouth to get him pardoned, you know? It's the same thing with like Martin Shkreli, right? Like I did a Martin Shkreli video and like you go into that story and it's like there's this like whole like Sigma fan base around him. You're like, oh, maybe he's not that bad. And you actually read everything he did and you're like, oh, he was an asshole. He should have been in jail. You know what I mean? I don't know. I guess I just don't like, I don't want to live in a society where we don't punish crime, I guess is my biggest thing. Like I think the crime should be punished regardless of who does it. You know, I don't think we should make exceptions for political reasons or because someone's like a really cool Sigma interesting guy. Like I just think that's a very shitty standard.
Bitch, I'm Tom Dart, but my dick is quite light. And this girl that's on my dick, she is not quite white. She's black. You can twist it up and play with it. Whoa. Make a motherfucking movie, Michael Bay with it. Whoa. Gotta promise you not dealing with a baby dick. No. There's a big white cop in your radius.